Here we go.
We begin with Madeline Rivera with the latest on that horrific attack in Michigan. Maddie.
Hi, good morning, guys. That's right. Local police say they're working around the clock trying to find more bodies because, unfortunately, as of last night, there were some people still unaccounted for. The attack happened yesterday morning at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Now we got church shootings. Like, what the hell? Church shootings. Who shoots up a freaking church, man?
Again, hundreds of people were inside worshiping when police say the gunman rammed his car into the front doors. Authorities say he got out of the car and started shooting before officers arrived and exchanged fire with him, killing him. Police say the gunman deliberately set the church on fire. It was engulfed in flames for a couple of hours, and unfortunately, it is a total loss. In addition to the shooting and fire,
Jesus.
Michigan State Police say authorities were handling reports of bomb threats in the area after the incident.
I can confirm at this time that the FBI is now leading the investigation and is investigating this as an act of
That's
targeted violence.
That's the second church. That's the second church, boys. Look here. I don't even like religion like that. I don't like I don't know what's on the other side, and if you're alive, you don't know either. I'm not a big fan of what the churches did back in the day with the Crusades. It's just another reason to kill people and tell people what they can and can't do. I'm not a left or a right-leaning person, but what the hell are we doing?
Calls about bomb threats or
what are we doing?
Indications that there was a bomb at a different location. Some of them were churches, and we have responded and cleared those locations.
I'd also like to acknowledge the heroism of not only the first responders, but the people.
Thank God that they had police in that church.
People who were inside that church at the time.
Like, used to, like, when you would have school shootings, right? You just have somebody that would roll up into the school and then, like, you know, unfortunately take people's lives because they were in some form either bullied or they were sick. But now you've got this advocation that is giving people the, I don't even know anymore. It's just the justification and the mental gymnastics these people have to do this. I feel like nobody should. Like, that's why it's a free country. You shouldn't be harassed or attacked because of your religion, your race, your like the way you talk. Like, it's just sick in the head.
They were shielding.
It's like a full tear down of the entire U.S. and what it stands for. Is what's going on right now.
The children who are also present within the church.
It is. I absolutely agree with you. It is getting out of hand. I think that they just need to start passing more laws that prohibit certain rhetoric and speech for big media. They do. They need to start making it to where you can't advocate for death or violence in fear of persecution. It's sad that the First Amendment clearly states peaceably to assemble, but they're going to have to start pushing laws that are going to prohibit certain types of violent talks on these shows.
Moving them to safety. Just hundreds of people just practicing their faith.
Police have identified the suspect as 40-year-old Thomas Jacob Sanford from Burton, Michigan.
The former U.S. Marine. The hell's he doing? Had a wife and son born with rare genetic disorder.
10 minutes from Grand Blanc, investigators are executing search warrants at his home. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer says violence in a place of worship is unacceptable. She's ordered flags across the state to be lowered to half-staff to honor the victims. Carly and Todd.
Madeline Rivera, thank you. With that, let us bring in former Assistant FBI Director Chris Sweckert. Chris, are you hearing anything from your source?
Have you noticed? I've noticed something very particular about what's going on now. Have you noticed that every time something like this hits Fox, they've always got an FBI person involved? Am I the only person who's noticed that? Every time something big like this has been so the last church shooting with that trans person, they didn't have an FBI director, but ever since Kirk, they've had an FBI director ever since. And with the shooting up of that oh my God, what was that place that was supposed to be like the NFL or whatever? It was that as well. They had the FBI director talking about it.
As to motive in an attack that you heard a member of the
why would somebody who served go and do something
FBI
like this? Is weird.
Targeted violence.
No, but I'll tell you this. You can tell the tip-off is that the FBI has taken the lead. That means they're treating this as either a hate crime or an act of domestic terrorism. Targeted violence means targeted at someone or a group of people in an effort to intimidate or inflict violence in the furtherance of social change or political change.
Yes.
I mean, it's a convoluted.
That's what makes. Okay. A lot of people don't know this, or don't really understand what constitutes as terrorism. Terrorism is whenever you want to put fear into a group of people and it's politically charged. So like if you kill somebody in that group or you try to oppress that group in any way and it's politically charged, that's what makes it terrorism. Okay?
Explanation, but it's either domestic terrorism or hate crime. Regardless, that's that.
I'm neither. I don't really portray myself as any of these because, like, I kind of feel I liked Bernie, but there was no way he was ever going to get into office. Now, I had some things that I disagreed with Bernie. I'm sure that I haven't seen all of Bernie's speeches, but I'm sure that just like Kirk, there were some things that I probably wouldn't agree with. And just like with Kamala Harris, I mean, I don't like this ideal of far left, far right, middle, liberal, all this Republican, Democrat. I don't like this. I like looking past all of that, looking at a situation and saying, that's fucked up and wrong. Don't really care who's involved. That's fucked up and wrong. Not okay with that. Not at all.
They have already actually attributed a motive to this individual already. So they must know quite a bit.
I want the government to do what's right by the people because that's their job. That's what I want. I don't want to be handed two lessers of two evils and be told that that's what we get. That's what I want. I want the American government to do right by the American people and to stop catering to these big corporations. That's what I want. Because that's what they're doing currently, and I don't really like it.
A bit about him, his writings, his postings, interviews with his friends and family, his social circle, anything that might have been in his car or his pockets. I think the investigation is
you're right though. That's the sad part.
Deep into it at this point with regard to motive.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that. How does the FBI, you mentioned some of the items there, but how do they begin really to piece together the motive, especially that focus on his time as a Marine? Because you certainly go to the mental health consequences.
Marine vet, obviously. They have quite a few, disproportionate number of suicides. This wasn't the only
but
Marine.
That's what's weird about it. Like, if he was going to, commit that, he wouldn't go and drive to a church. Like, he looked fairly happy. Like, what happened? How? Like, how do you go from having fun with your family to driving into a church and it's setting it on fire and killing people? How?
We have one here in North Carolina at a place that I frequent, a bar restaurant in Southport, North Carolina. Marine veteran. Both of them had mental issues. Both of them had done a GoFundMe page very recently before the shooting to try to raise funds. One for the boat that he used to commit the shooting, the other one for his sick child. So, this is a situation of you find a manufactured grievance, if you will, and then a whole lot of stimulus from
Man, I definitely need that in my life. That's for sure. You can pray for me all you want. Trust me. You ain't hurting my feelings at all. Like, don't feel any type of, like, I'm not one of those, I'm not like an atheist. I think that there is a higher power. I think that there's too many different versions of the higher power that I'm like, how can I, as a single person, decide who is the highest of higher power when they're all trying to make themselves the higher power? It's, how can there be so many different religions if there's only one true God, That's kind of my mentality of it. I don't know.
people either on the internet or even
very
politicians,
complex.
irresponsible politicians. We all know who they are. They're talking about Nazis and
But I'll take prayers from any religion. Load them up, man. I need them. Trust me, I need them.
Existential threats. They need to crawl back into their dark places. These people are out there. That has to be taken into account when you start firing off your mouth.
Yeah, to be clear, Chris, the shooting in
He's right. He's fallen back to like I had said, is we gotta start outlawing. We gotta start removing this politically charged violence calling on all these
North Carolina. Fox
platforms.
News has not yet confirmed that individual was a Marine, but we're working to do that and get that.
Oh,
to
so
our
they're not even sure if he's a Marine. Okay.
viewers.
That
Finally,
changes
with
things.
these recent attacks on churches, do we now need to harden places of worship like we do many schools?
That is kind of crazy, ain't it?
Unfortunately, yes. When I do school security assessments, I tell them that your first line of defense, the gold standard, is an.
I mean, like it'd be completely different because, like with like a school shooting, you probably have some dumbass kid, right, that's gonna walk in there and think that he's gonna hurt a bunch of people, or the worst, unfortunately. And what's different is that usually these kids, they don't really think things through. But when you've got a Marine that plows his vehicle through a church, catches it on fire, and shoots up the joint, you got a problem. You got a combat veteran that knows what he's doing. Like you got a big problem. There's only so much protection you can do. In some instances, like, how do you even begin to protect against a car plowing the side of a church, and then a guy getting out and shooting it up like we're in like some kind of battle royale? Like, how? It's not like he walked through the front door, bro. Bro made his own entrance.
Off-duty police officer, preferably, or a private security guard, outside in a marked patrol unit, sitting, or at least with a marked patrol unit.
Patrol unit's not going to solve that. I mean, he would have done just as much as the people that were on the inside.
Nearby. It's just your first line of defense. You have to have it. Among other things, access controls, security cameras, and your clergy and your deacons and.
Bro, look here, man. Look here. You can be driving on this road right here, knowing full well what you're gonna do, and then you immediately take a 90-degree, which is not possible. You immediately ping the pedal and you take a right turn. You cut through the fence and go straight into that church. There's no amount of security cameras. There's no amount of traffic control or people like security guards out in the parking lot that's going to keep somebody from just cutting a right-hand turn straight off the road, right across the grass into the freaking church. It's not going to happen. Like, there's obviously a huge problem here.
Ushers all need to have some, need to be on the looking out for suspicious activities. They're sort of your ground radar.
Throw holy water on me.
Eyes and ears. And then, of course, the parishioners and the family, when the red flags are raised, they need to tell somebody. In these cases, there usually are red flags.
Have a great day, man.
Off, or red flags being shown, red lights.
Thank you, sir.
There's something. They're in distress, and they're about to go off.
It's so sad that it has come to this, because all people want to do when they go into a house of worship is have some time alone with the Lord. Them,
I agree.
Their thoughts and the.
I agree with that, and I feel like that with every religion. Like, that's the worst thing ever.